Chris, things are things are going pretty well with the Islamic dilemma here in the U.S. And on pretty much every other topic that we think of. How are things going over in the UK? Are you guys, is everyone feeling it there in the UK too?
Oh yes, yes. There's a lot of panic about the Islamic dilemma. There's a lot of worry about it. We know that a lot of Muslims are being asked to give responses to the Islamic dilemma by people like Farid or Jake or our favorite Daniel Akikachu. And yeah, they're really struggling. They're really struggling, and it shows. So it's not just like in America things are changing. It's international, and particularly in the UK.
Here's here's what's amazing to me. Like we can decide like 7 or 8 months ago, we can decide something. We can decide, hey, we're going to make this the year of the Islamic dilemma. We're going to make everyone know this. There's only a certain amount of that that's actually like under our control, namely what we're doing. Other than that, for it to really take off, other people have to be on board, right? Other people have to start picking up on it, learning it, and sharing it, and so on. Muslims have to start reacting to it. And Muslim Dawah guys will try to avoid anything that they don't want their people to hear. In other words, if you're bringing up an argument, they'll try to avoid it because they don't want to respond to it because that's going to let more people know that there's this problem here. So what you need is Muslims flipping out about something and going to their Dawah guys and demanding responses from their Dawah guys. And then you end up getting debates. Then they end up in a panic mode and then they start attacking each other. And so notice a ton of that is actually not under our control. That's under other people's control. So when you're sitting back here saying, hey, this is going to be the year of the Islamic dilemma, everyone's going to understand it. All the Muslims are going to be freaking out about it and so on. It's like everyone else has to kind of play along. And they are. That's what's amazing, right? Because you say you're going to do it, but it depends on other people to get it go to help get it going, and you can't say definitively that they're actually going to help you get this done, and yet they do. They
And we can
do.
tell this as well because when we look at like the YouTube algorithm and how this is being shared on TikTok and other places, we see that it gets traction. And I think that that's not just because Christians are watching this, but because people from other faiths as well, including Muslims, are watching these videos about the Islamic dilemma. And then they're going to their favorite da'is and they're asking them to make videos in response to it. So in effect, we're doing incredibly well with the algorithm as well. So it's amazing.
So, guys, this is everyone watching. This is how you do it. Just learn this over a period of many years. Because if you go back 20 years, Muslims didn't like debating Muslim topics. They only wanted to debate: is Jesus God? Is the Trinity true? Is the Bible reliable? Did Jesus die on the cross? Did he rise from the dead? They only wanted to debate Christian topics. They didn't want to debate Muslim topics because they didn't want anyone bringing up any problems. And just so everyone knows, back then, if you go back a little before then, it was very common if you set up a debate between a Christian and a Muslim, they would only agree to a Christian topic. And they would say before the debate, if anyone criticizes Muhammad or the Quran at any point in this debate, it's over. And all the Muslims are walking out. So they made sure that no criticism of Islam is going to take place and so on. So like, how do you get through that? How do you get through that? Anyway, we find out over the years with when they say things, when they reject Muhammad's relationship with Aisha and say we're lying, when they say the Quran's been perfectly preserved, and when we respond, they say we're lying and so on. You just have to get the message to Christians and other non-Muslims, and they have to start using it. They have to start using the information with their Muslim friends, thus sending their Muslim friends into panic mode because they've never heard this before. They don't know anything about this. So they have no answers. So now they have to try and find answers. And who do they go to? They go to their Dawah guys. They start pestering their Dawah guys. Then their Dawah guys start posting responses. And then we say, hey, why don't we debate it? And that's how you do it. You couldn't go directly to them to debate it because there's no way they would debate it. They don't want people to know about it. So you have to go about it in an indirect route. What's amazing is they fall for it 100% of the time. And I just laid out the entire system right there, and they will still fall for it 100% of the time. Wow. Hey, I hear Giant DOC there. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
You know what? We actually found about 3 or 4 people recently who solved the Islamic dilemma.
Oh.
Yeah. we've been getting a lot of praise reports, Muslims becoming Christians, because the Lord's been using the Islamic dilemma for their personal testimonies. And some of these guys, you can actually see it happening in real time. Like, we do a stream with David and Avery, and you hear the conversation with the guy while he's a Muslim. We talk about the Islamic dilemma. We talk about some questions he has about the Bible. A couple months later, he follows up, and he's like, "Hey, you remember me?" And he's like, "I'm a Christian now." And so we've heard multiple others telling us the same thing as well. And we are sure to write down these people's names to pray for them. In fact, we have a whole list of people that we're praying
This
for.
week, and over the last couple of weeks, Brother Miled, Sister Miriam, Sister Jane. That's how you solve the Islamic dilemma.
That's how you do it.
That is, and it's amazing because they're just finding out about it. I mean, the people are calling in and stuff. They're hearing about this. I mean, they may have heard the Quran confirms the Bible and so on, but once you start taking them through the verses, they think they're these easy responses because their Dawah guys have told them, oh, no, this is so easy. Anyone can respond. It's a joke. It's so stupid. It's such a dumb argument. And then they think they've got some simple response to it. I'll just say Surah 2, verse 79, and that will be it. And what happens? We actually go to the passage, we go to the context, we go to commentaries, we go to hadiths, and they find out, this is actually a serious, serious problem. But this is all new. This is all new. People are just finding out about it. So exciting, exciting, exciting times. All right, so this is Dawah Wars, Islamic Dilemma Edition. I haven't been like going around and checking out the stuff. We've got videos here. Apart from the shorter clip of Daniel Hokikachu. So I watched like a 2-minute clip that a couple people sent me. But I saw the shorter clip, but we're going to look at a longer clip. But Farid's videos, I don't know, guys. I didn't watch them when Farid sent them to Daniel. But we've responded to other videos. We've responded to videos by Farid in the past. So have we actually have I seen these in the past?
Yeah, actually, one of those videos is a response to us, yourself and Chris. It was a stream that we all did together where he issued a challenge for the Christian apologists to find one classical Muslim scholar who believes that the Bible is unaltered, uncorrupted, etc.
And we found a bunch.
And so we found a bunch, and then the one he responded to was, the one that it comes up in the video, which is a really bad response, but not even according to us, according to Daniel. Daniel thinks it's a bad response. So yeah, you're familiar with the content of what it is. One of them was a response to us. I don't really remember the other one though.
All right, so this may not.
Let me give my understanding of the chronology of the beef, and then people correct me if I have it wrong, and then that'll help the viewers understand what's happening. So Daniel did this debate. And then Farid came out and said, you got caught with your pants down. Basically, you didn't do well.
Hey, let's keep this PG.
Then in response, Daniel attacked 2 videos.
Daniel was highly offended by that language.
Yeah.
Then in response, Daniel attacked 2 videos that Farid made that are a year old. And so I don't even think Farid articulated clearly what it was that was wrong with Daniel. He just said, you got caught with your pants down. But the only Islamic dilemma videos that Daniel could find to attack were those 2, I'm guessing.
And let me go ahead and pull up that tweet. That's the only tweet because I had to get it to find the videos that we're going to be responding to. But I actually checked out that tweet. So this is from Farid, and Farid says, David Wood argues that the Prophet, peace be upon him, and Ibn Abbas affirm the Bible. Actually, what I argued, Farid, was, yes, your Prophet affirmed the Bible. That's directly out of the Hadith, but he's also the one supposedly revealing the Quran, which definitely affirms the Bible. Daniel brought up Ibn Abbas. I pointed out, at the end of the day, I really don't care if Ibn Abbas says the Bible is corrupted. If he said it and it was clear, I wouldn't care. My response would be, where does Allah say it? If Allah doesn't say it and Ibn Abbas says it, and you go with Ibn Abbas, you're worshiping Ibn Abbas according to your own prophet. And I would take it as you being condemned by Surah 2, verse 79, your guys' favorite verse. Anyway, why? You'd be taking something that someone wrote and treating it as the word of Allah. and you would be condemned by Surah 2, verse 79. So I really wouldn't care what Ibn Abbas says. However, we have some reports that conflict with what you guys say about Ibn Abbas, and so that's what I pointed out during the debate. And then he says, these 2 videos from my playlist refute both attributes. Refute is a strong word, Farid. Refute is a strong word. Let's say in these 2 videos, let's say something we can all agree on. In these 2 videos from my playlist, I say words in response to some of the issues. I say words in response to some of the issues. Just say that, and then we could agree. Refute, doesn't mean what I think you think it means. Muslims should familiarize themselves with responses to avoid getting caught with their pants down during a debate.
Oh, okay.
I don't even think Daniel was wearing pants. I think he was wearing a dress, but I don't know. He might have had pants on under that.
Let's hope he had pants underneath. Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly hope so.
Oh, so pants means something different in British English. So the Chris is thinking of something. Chris is thinking of underwear when you say pants.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. For us, pants means like jeans or something like that. So,
Yeah.
Okay, pants. So that's like underpants. So you got pants and underpants, but pants. Okay, all right. But yeah. So this is Farid warning Daniel not to get caught with his pants down like Muhammad on the night of Al-Zut. All right. Now we're good. Now we know.
Nice.
Okay.
So that has been retweeted by a number of people, including some Muslim dawagandists, some people who are, popular for doxing, I'll say, some of those people as well. But they're very big. Very big in the Dawah world. And then Farid
hang on. Is this the same Ijaz who's also a racist and refers to other people of other races as racial epithets?
That's
okay,
the same one.
Okay, just want to make sure.
One. So he's retweeting it. And by the way, that's Daniel's former debate partner on Fresh and Fit. So, but then again, I don't know if that's saying much because Jake was also his former debate partner too. So
that didn't go well.
So Farid has been, nonstop, and he knows that we're using his content against Daniel. And so he put out like one thing where he said something negative about you in the debate, but everything else was about Daniel, how bad Daniel did. And Jake is actually retweeting some of that stuff as well. So Jake is in on it. All these Dawah guys are basically all in agreement that Daniel did a terrible job in the debate. So, yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to point out that's interesting because where was I? I don't remember which channel I was on the other day. It's all been a blur. My brain was fried. But I think it was with God Logic. Anyway, was live a couple of days ago, and Farid,
IP's channel,
Farid came up, and I offered the offer of all offers. Here's how you should have responded. And then there are even people here and there in various comment sections going, why are you baiting Daniel, not Farid? Farid's the one who really knows. Like, what kind of fantasy land do you live in? So I offered Farid the deal of all deals. I said, if you think you can do better, we will debate. I will debate the exact same topic with you, and I will use the exact same opening statement. I have to change the intro because it's a different person, but apart from that, I will use the exact same opening statement. You cannot possibly get caught off guard with everything. You can design your entire opening statement as a response, a prepared response to my opening statement. That is like as generous as someone can possibly be. So just wanted to point that out. That is an open offer to Farid. And for all you Farid fans out there, if he doesn't accept that, my goodness, how are you not getting this? How are you not getting the fact that they're just terrified?
And that's what Daniel said to him. He said, why don't you man up? He
used a little bit more flavorful language,
in very more colorful language, and debate yourself.
Why don't you gird up your loins and face him like a man? Sorry.
Yeah, whatever you think. At least Daniel's going after and debating.
Sorry.
Yeah, he needs to gird up his backbone.
Gird up his backbone.
And Islamic, biology.
Pull up your pants. Oh man. All right. So anything else before we start jumping into some of this?
Yeah. So you know that meme where you have like the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other?
I think
That's
it's
basically
3.
what's. Oh
It's
no! Well,
3,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There's variations. There's variations. There's one with 2, one with 3, but this is that's what I want you to think about when you have Farid and Daniel. Farid's pointing at your argument is bad. The other one, Daniel's saying, no, your argument is bad. And it's,
Oh yeah. You got to make one of those then.
yeah,
we got them.
we
We got one.
yeah, I made one. It's on X if you want to. I don't know. I can pull it up, but it's basically basically what's going on. It's exactly what is going on, and Daniel is accusing Farid's responses of being bad, and I'm kind of saying like, guys, you're both right. It's okay.
You're both bad.
You're both right. You're both bad, and so it's not a matter of like like siding with one or the other. It's like we're agreeing with you both here. You guys are both right that you're both bad. And it's kind of like this. It's kind of like when I'm observing the situation, what I notice is
from observing the situation. I treat women like prostitutes. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Daniel took it best.
yeah, Daniel took it best. I mean, Daniel actually debated, so he took it best. But what I've noticed is like it's like imagine like two people who are able to recognize something bad in the other person, but they can't recognize that same thing in themselves. So like Daniel thinks he has these amazing responses to the Islamic dilemma, but other Muslims are recognizing, no, your responses are bad. And then Farid thinks he has these amazing responses, but then Daniel and other Muslims are recognizing it's bad. It's like you guys are able to recognize it in each other, but you have like this blind spot when it comes to yourself. So we're just here kind of like opening their eyes and filling the gaps and like, hey guys, you're all really bad at this.
I was actually thinking the same thing when I saw, because again, the only thing I saw was the short 2-minute clip of Daniel where he was making fun of Farid's response to the hadith in Sunan Abu Dawud, and he was saying, well, you're saying that this scholar says it's good, and this other scholar says this, and you think that's a good response. And I'm like, Daniel's correct. Daniel's absolutely correct. But the guys he's responding to are looking at his responses and going, your responses suck. So they're destroying no matter what response they give, we can find other Muslims who are saying that's a terrible response.
Exactly.
So have you guys seen, there's a guy called Yemeni who's a Muslim apologist. And this is like before the debate a few months ago, but it kind of showed me just how much like at war these guys are.
Wait, isn't that the guy who threatened you?
Yeah, not me. He didn't threaten me. He threatened to unalive. Yeah, people at Speaker's Corner. He went online. People said nasty things about his prophet. He got upset and said, okay, I'm going to actually go and do something, and this is a real threat. People even told the police about this, and it's still there. The live stream is still there to this day. Not even like people reported it. I reported it, but there were people who went out and said, actually, that's a credible threat. But nothing happened to him. It's still there. But anyway, he made a live stream in which and I watched the whole thing because it was fascinating. He's presenting the case that you cannot say there is any wahi or any revelation in the previous scriptures in the biblical text from an Islamic point of view. That's and this is like the before you had Dean Responds and others, that's kind of what everyone sort of said. Oh, it's all been corrupted. You can't take any of it for granted. Although they're being consistent with that view, I would argue. But that was what they would say. But now you've got this other group of da'is who's like, actually, that's a terrible response. We can't keep saying that. That doesn't work. Obviously, the Quran says there's true wahi revelations in our scriptures. And they're pointing it out. But they're trying to then be like, okay, but don't think too much into this. And so now you've got these two groups that are like saying, what are you guys doing? Some of them are even saying, look, you're kafir. You've left Islam because you're saying there's revelation to be found in the Bible. And it's amazing to watch this. I'm like, wow, these guys are tearing each other apart because they can't even come together on a solution anymore. There's no consensus now. There's different factions that give different answers depending on who you ask, which is amazing. I really, really like this. I think this is really interesting. So, yeah.
So they are actually ending up with some Dawah Wars. Go ahead, Christian.
You have to attack the definition of Injil and Torah, or you have to attack the definition of confirm. And so that's your tension because, Quran confirms.
That's a good way of summarizing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you'll have one class of Muslims attacking Confirm and one attacking Angel and Torah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we're going to watch the first video now, and this is a response to, I'll just go ahead and put the hadith on the screen real quick. So this is a hadith, Sunan Abu Dawud 4449. Narrated Abdullah ibn Umar, a group of Jews came and invited the Messenger of Allah to Kuf, so he visited them in their school. They said, Abul Qasim, one of our men has committed fornication with a woman, so pronounce judgment upon them. They placed a cushion for the Messenger of Allah, who sat on it and said, bring me the Torah. It was then brought. He then withdrew the cushion from beneath him and placed the Torah on it, saying, I believed in thee and in him who revealed thee. He then said, bring me one who is learned among you. Then a young man was brought. The transmitter then mentioned the rest of the tradition of stoning, similar to the one transmitted by Malik from Nafi. So Muhammad is actually is not talking about some long-lost copy of the Torah or some book that has long been corrupted. He said, bring me the Torah, i.e. the Torah that you have right now. It was then brought. He puts it on this judgment cushion and says, I believed in thee and in him who revealed thee. So he believes in this book the same way he believes in Allah. And that is hard to reconcile if that is a corrupt book that he says he believes in. So is that a corrupt God he believes in? Anyway, so that's the hadith. about to get Farid's response. We all ready?
Yep.